viewers and followers of Zuno TV, greetings from the Wa municipality of the Upper West region. And today in this episode, we want to look at the local structures that our great-grandparents they used to put together and to live in, called home. And so today we have Tizawata, who will be telling us more about these local structures, how it all came about, and the idea behind it. What is it about? Does it have some traditional meaning to some of the tools and also some of the, the equipment they use in putting up this structure, and the materials? What materials do they use in building this structure or this building? And so he'll be telling us more about this. Just follow me and let's get closer to the structure, where it is our water will be telling us more about this structure. Let's go.
Okay.
So tell us, what is this structure?
In the garden we call it Delora.
Delora.
Yes, Delora.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is it for?
Oh, it's a house. In those days, before the white man brought zinc, what do you call it, nails and all the roofing materials for building, this is where our great-grandfathers were living. And that is what they made, because there was soil, there were woods that they could lay hands on to make accommodation for themselves. And this is Delora. Okay. Well, if you want to know the materials used for Delora, or the touch, some people call it touch house or touch room. When it is a complete one, we call it touch house. But this is a single one, which is touch room. It's a room. Okay. So Delora, it is a Delora because they normally throw the sand from inside to the top of the roof. That is how they, with the help of a hoe.
Okay.
The materials used include.
So if I heard you well, so this is the hole.
Yeah,
you're going
this
to
is
mix
hole.
this. You're going to mix
Voila.
this, and now use this. Hey, throw. That will be very difficult because I can see the space up there is just very small.
It is because you are not used to it.
Wow.
Everybody who is used to this knows that it's an easy thing.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Well, let's see. Traditionally, do they use this one for some traditional purpose, apart from using it as a home?
Oh, well, if you talk about traditional purpose, we have shrines, isn't it? You can equally use it as a shrine where you house your gods. You use it, whatever you use a room in the modern day room for, a modern day house for, you could equally use it for that purpose.
So do we still have these structures existing in our localities?
It's yes and no. Yes, because we can see that this is one. And no, because if you go to some parts of the Upper West or the Dagar community, you can't find them, because people think that today it is inferior to live in this room. Because people have money today, they can make bricks and make mansions, they self-contained and all that, they neglect it. But I'm happy because if you go to a place like Nandom Laura, they still have them, no matter how they are able, whatever building they are able to put up, some of them still have this among their buildings. And whatever painting and decoration they want to do on the modern ones, they equally do it to this one, just to preserve it. I have equally made this because of the fact that, like I said, they are extincting. And I happen to be working with Center for National Culture. That is the reason why I decided to put this as part of, before I came, the whole of this place was plain. So I decided to put it up.
So this place, how safe is it for people to live in? A structure like this, a wooden structure, and just like you mentioned, you will be fetching this sand that we are watching, or this mortar you are about to mix, and you will be putting it on top of woods. They are not iron rods. How safe is it for human beings to live in this? And for how long will it take before they will renovate the place?
This particular one, this is about the 5th year. This is the 5th year, and I decided to renovate it. Actually, when I did it, I decided to apply a little bit of modernization by cementing it. And you can see that these are the pills of the cement I removed before I got to the soil. It's very safe.
Well, you just mentioned that in the olden days, that's the structure or the kind of buildings that our great grandparents they used to live in, and they were comfortable with living with this. Now, how conducive is the place in terms of ventilation and what have you?
In fact, in terms of ventilation, it's just because that I decided to use this to accommodate my animals. Other than that, when you do it, you equally make windows. You make provision for windows in the side, preferably here and there. So you put either a zinc or something to cover it, or you can also make the window this thing and put it in. If you want, you open it. So ventilation passes through the windows to enter.
We are also told that a similar structure like this, they could put on another structure where people can live on top, whilst others live down, just like the modern day story buildings that we have. How true is that?
Yes. You know, our great grandfathers, in fact, it's just that in those days education wasn't common. But it doesn't mean that they were not people who were wise, technological wise. They foresaw the modern day, what do you call it, story buildings, and they were equally able to do their own story buildings. What happened was that if you look at the top of this one, where we call it dasere, the wooden material are used to level and spread on top. After filling the soil, that is after a lobo, when you finish that one, the down part becomes the down floor. Then they put another one on top, which we call palm pier. We call it palm pier. That's the story building. That's the modern day story building. So on that palm pier, mostly it was the chiefs that were staying up there.
And we also tell some cases the most elderly ones in
yes,
the family.
That is why I say most cases you are either a chief or the elder, the family head for that matter. They were up there, and the reason behind that was that, you know, those days people could easily be attacked and whatever. So they stayed up there in the night or whatever.
Yes.
So the announcer climbs, then shouts, hey, 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 3 times, just to draw the attention of the community. Then at the end of the 3rd shout, then he brings the announcement. If it is for people to gather the following day, because some people were coming, then he brings it out to the community to hear and prepare for the meeting. As for announcing funeral and what, in those days, even today we have the token drums. It is the token drums. We have to announce. There is a way of playing it. If the person is a male, there's a way you should play it. If the person is a female, there's a way you play it. Only that they wouldn't know that it is this particular person who is deceased, but they will know that a man or a woman has passed on.
But in some settlement, for instance, Laura, I'm very familiar with, they could even use the deceased name. They could mention the deceased name in either the token drum or with the xylophone. Before they start the funeral, they announce with the person's name.
That one, we are not used to that. I don't want to go into that because I may be telling lies.
Okay. You're very right.
Yes.
All right, so let's see. So how do the water go down from this deck building?
If you look at the top, normally the sloping starts at the base. When I say the base, I have not mentioned the materials used for the thatch room. For this particular one, they are 3, the woods. We have what we call the wagon. And depending on the size of the room, will determine the number of.
So this is a wagon?
This is a wagon.
Okay.
And for this particular room, they are 4. In some cases, we also have something we call lugo, which is a sort of cross wood that we use to fix inside to support the work. In that case, you wouldn't see the work protruding. But because I didn't use those ones, that is why you see the work protruding.
Okay.
Because this thing rests directly on the bricks.
And so it means this crossbar, let's put it crossbar,
Well,
wouldn't have appeared this way.
Yes,
You would have had the supporting bars inside.
Yes, inside, in that order. So apart from these ones, we also have a medium-sized one that we call the sembie, which are inside. If you enter, you will see that they are also there on top crossing these four particular woods.
Okay.
Then on top of the sembie is then the dasere. These small ones that I cut. These are the dasere.
Okay. So the sembie, that one is longer than this.
The sembie is longer and a bit fatter than these ones.
Okay.
But not as this is one of the work.
Okay, so this is the
But I
way.
realized that it wasn't straight, so that's
This
why
was straight?
I rejected it.
Okay.
But just a sample.
Okay.
So now when you put these ones on top of the sembie at a level, then as you do, you begin to use your eye to see how slope the whole thing is because when you are using, you look at which one is fatter than the other in that descending order. Then you will start the slope there. If that one is not accurate, in the process of putting the other sembie on top of the wire, then you also determine the slope there. If it is not perfect, then when you are spreading the dasere, you will start another layer of sloping it there. Then finally, when you are putting the soil on, at the end of putting the soil, we use the hoe to level it, which we call quabble. You just do it small like that, so that you look at the slopiness and direct the water to where you should direct the water. It's not automatic. You have to direct the water to where you want to go through the sombole. If you look at it, you see this black thing.
Okay, here.
Yes. This black thing is the sombole. In fact, this is an improvised one. It's a modern day one. But in the olden days, where these materials were not there, we carve a wood and chop inside and make it a hole inside and fix it here, slope it so that the water could flow through. That is what we used to do. So all that is aimed at sloping the water to pass through the sombole. If you do it well, at the end of the day, automatically you see that the water will be directed towards this particular direction. If it rains, it passes through without leakage. Yes.
So in this case, I could see you use cement to drill the place.
Yes.
Those days, I know they didn't have cement.
Cement wasn't there.
How was it done?
In fact, you will agree with me that today the soil we have is more becoming unlike what we used to have. It is losing its texture and the essential properties. That is why today we farm and have to put fertilizer. In those days, it was not like that. It means that something are going out of the soil day in, day out. So the soil we used to have in those days, it is no more there. Though some places you can still get it. The best soil is when you get the actual soil mixed with gravel. Then that one you can be sure of the quality of the bricks. But because the quality of the soil is compromised, and this day the rain falls, that is why I decided to cement it. For if you observe, you see that it's only the outer part that is cemented. The inside is uncemented because it is not exposed to the rain and the weather. but the outside is more or less prone to the rainfall. That is why I did it that way.
I've ever been to one community. I saw the way the place looked like. I thought it was a cement. When I got closer, it wasn't cement. They said they used cow down to.
You are right. Yes, we could use. That's it. In those days when cement was not there, it was the cow dung. You use the cow dung and gravel. Normally, you soak the cow dung. Then when you get the gravel, you mix it. The following day, the woman will spread it, even on the floor, in the rooms, on the walls. Well, in those days, there was unity. Because that was the order of the day. If you don't come to my own, I'll not also come to your own. So there was that unity and what we call a nobwa, even in everything. People could gather to go and then do for A. The following day, they are in B's house. So that is how they did it. Then when you put it on, then we have something that is like, I don't know whether it's L shape, which we call sampan.
Okay.
It's also carved from a wood. Then that is what they use to beat it, to make it strong. Today it is still like that. In some places, when you do it like that, then the final one, you use the raw, the Navini solution, the cow dung solution to spread over it, and you will like it. Yes.
Wow, that's a great story to hear. This a great story we are hearing from our brother, who is telling us a lot more about the engineering work that is being done during those days. And so I don't know where our great grandparents they learned this engineering work from. Today we have professional engineers that any building you are putting up, you have to let them come and give you the kind of work that you're supposed to put in so that you can get a quality work done. But those days we don't have them, yet they get a quality work for themselves. And he mentioned it that this one can take years. This one, for instance, I think he just did it in his own way, but it has taken 5 years before he came to do some maintenance or innovation work. I didn't even see any crack in it, but he decided that he wanted to do innovation work on the place, and he's been telling us a whole lot of stories about some of these artwork or architectural work that our great-grandparents they used to do in our communities. So in this case, we'll say that the white people they learn from us, because these days now I could see some of the structures they built. Like it's the olden day architectural work that they are now doing, just like your own, for instance. They will do the roofing, but they will hide the zinc. You wouldn't see it, just like the olden days, the way they do it this way.
Yes, excuse me to say, the white men are wise, and they capitalize on somebody's weakness to make their money. They will look at this one and then go and modernize it to be different from this one because of the materials they use. We use the soil and the wood. They have come out with a technology like you use the iron rods, then you make some concrete, you flow, and it's the same thing.
It serves the same purpose.
Serves the same purpose. This one like this, if you do it and you do it, you do nothing. Even in the rainy season, it doesn't leak. When the rain is falling, you don't hear much sound by the zinc. It is because of that sound of the zinc that they do the ceiling. But this one, whether you see it, you don't need to see this one because it's a seal by itself. You don't hear sound, no sound. Solid. It's cool. Very cool.
It doesn't even fear the sun.
No.
No matter how hot the sun is.
No. Wow. Don't fear. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Yes.
That's great. And so you heard it. Okay, so you just heard it from our good brother Tizanwata Kapuachere Frederick.
Yes.
Wow, this name is so wonderful. Tizanwata
Kapuachere Frederick.
What is the meaning?
Oh, Tizanwata means we are all the same.
We are all the same.
Yes.
Kapuachere.
And the Kapuachere means The actual name is Kapuan Dachiene.
Okay.
Kapuan Dachiene. But we have decided to shorten it Kapuachiene. But whoever understands the Dagari in my area, the moment you mention Kapuachiene, he understands that okay, this is what it means. So if you say Kapuan Dachiene, it simply means that if it were possible for you to open the stomach to see what is inside there, there are cases people are not guilty of A and they say they are guilty, but there is no way they can prove. Meanwhile, inside them, they are not guilty. But because they can't open the stomach for you to see that this person is not guilty, you take them. Take them off for being guilty. Meanwhile, they are not. That is the meaning of Kapuan Dutch.
All right. Thank you so much, Cesar Wata. And so that is it. The engineering work and the drain behind this building you are watching, that's what he just walked us through. And in fact, we need to go back to our tradition. We need to go back to our history to read a lot more about our past and pick up, at least there are a lot of things that we need to pick up from this artwork that he's just talking about, and a whole lot of cultural activities that growing up we saw our great-grandparents they were practicing or they were doing that we have just abandoned. If you look at the modernization, the Western world we are talking about, all the things that they go to modernize to bring it back for us to patronize, everything existed before. You can talk about anything that we use for our communities or within our household level. Everything we used to manufacture it locally. Now it has been modernized. The white man have gone to modernize it, and we have to go to buy from them. We have to import from them to improve upon their economy, whilst we are struggling to raise our economy for everybody to have a good living. To follow us, go to Zuno TV on YouTube and also on Facebook. Sedu Lutuf, we can get a lot more of our videos there to watch on our tradition. We call it the culture of your heart. And so whatever that we do, everything is about culture. And so in our next episode, we bring you another, catching video on another topic within our culture. Have a great day.
Good day.
For more videos, log on to Zuno TV, subscribe, like, and share with friends. Zuno TV, the heart of our culture.